today. Maybe ghosting isolation, since I think my first tutorial was the isolation tutorial. So if you've already seen the isolation, the ghosting isolation looks like this. And there's a ton of variations for this trick. Yeah. And basically what's happening on this is one hand is still going to be doing the isolation. So if you can do an isolation, you can do a ghosting isolation for sure. It's just going to take a little bit of like retraining with your left hand on what to do. So for example, I'm starting with my right hand and I'm going to be, for some reason it clicks for me to lead with my pinky. I can do it both ways, but it just naturally goes with my pinky first. So that is counterclockwise. And you start at the bottom just like a regular isolation. Your left hand is not actually going to be touching the hoop at first. Once you get better at it, you'll be able to touch the hoop to make it look even more like it's just floating and ghost-like. But for now, just kind of even just take your your index finger and your thumb and just place it around without trying to touch. I mean, obviously you can touch it a little bit, but you know, you're just keeping a hollow space around the perimeter of the hoop. So yeah, thumb to thumb at the bottom. Your right hand is going to lead with the pinky, and your left hand is just going to trace the outside of the hoop. And you're just going to do the isolation like you normally do with your right hand. Your left hand can be there for support, but in the beginning it might seem really fumbly to try to do that. It just kind of comes with practice. But then once you get to the top, you'll be pinky to pinky, so opposite of how we were in the beginning, where we were thumb to thumb at the very bottom. And then this is where your left hand is going to cross over your right hand. And I do it behind so that it just flows a lot smoother. So I get to this position and then I come behind and I continue the isolation down with my right hand. That's the only hand that's actually gripping the hoop. The left hand is just tracing the outside. And then once you get back to the bottom, you just kind of let the left hand go over top the right and continue your isolation like you normally would. This is the midpoint here where usually I would let both hands kind of support while I get ready to continue my isolation and cross over. I hope that makes sense. There's a ton of tutorials. There's a ton of tutorials on ghosting isolations out there. So if this one doesn't work for you, just keep watching more. Hopefully if you never heard of ghosting isolations, that would be a good introduction for you to go look on more tutorials that maybe explain it better than I can. Yeah, happy hooping.